Hello everyone, it is live at 5. Welcome to another fascinating adventure where we dive deep into the questions that you've been burning to ask. And today I am super in a self-love energy, so if I seem a bit different or a little more full of love, then that is why I just did a self-love meditation in the Akashic Records, so thank you to everyone that came to that. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. If you missed it but you still want to come, there is another one in just 5 hours. So if you're watching this or the replay in social media and you watch it before 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can still jump on. It's just a repeat version and a new live meditation in the Akashic Records for self-love. So I'd love to have you along. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm so sorry that you missed out, but I will do it again if the demand is there. And it's totally free, so come along, and you can find the links in the bios on social media. Anyway, enough about that. Today we are doing Oracle Cards 101, a beginner's guide to reading with ease. All right, so today we are going to talk about the basics of Oracle cards and how they can help you tap into your intuition. So it's more for beginners. If you do Oracle cards and you just want a refresher, then this might be a good one for you. But this is a basic one for beginners, people new to Oracle or just can't really get them to work. So stick around. So what are Oracle decks? So I have two with me today. I have my Isis Oracle deck, and I have my Myths of Avalon deck. So they're going to be my demonstrations today. So Oracle cards are a divination tool. They're sort of like tarot, but they're friendlier. So I always say that tarot is that best friend that will tell you exactly what they think. They will call you out on everything. If they know that you're avoiding something, they will tell you. If they know that something not so great is coming up for you, they'll tell you, but they should also tell you advice, but they will be quite direct with you. The Oracle cards are your hippie friend, the one that loves you so much, even though tarot loves you too, but it loves you in a different way, and it just wants to tell you that you are so special and you're so loved and you're doing so amazing and just so on track. And now that's lovely. You can't use that all the time. There's some questions that you need tarot for or some other divination thing. So Oracle's not always the best thing to go to. Although it is a very, very powerful, a very sweet and gentle one. And you can get Oracle cards in everything. Just like tarot, you can get them on any subject. So there's like angel ones, there's unicorns, there's dragons, there's Avalon ones, there's gods and goddesses ones, there's just anything that you are into, you can find an Oracle deck for. So I did do a live at 5 in January the 7th. That was called The Difference Between Tarot and Oracle Cards Explained. If you do need a bit of a deeper dive into that, go ahead and watch that one. Now, very quickly, tarot is more regiment as well. So tarot usually has 78 cards, and usually, even though they're slightly different in some decks, they're usually following a certain pattern, certain rules. A card, even if it's not named the same, usually has the same kind of aspects and personalities and meanings behind them. An Oracle deck, each one is very, very unique. So with tarot, you can learn what we call the Rider-Waite deck, and if you know that one, you can pretty much pick up any tarot deck and read it pretty easily, if not straight away. Oracle is completely different. Oracle is very, very unique to the artist, to the creator. The meanings are all different. It's whatever the person creating them has made them. So there are also different amounts of them as well. So for example, the Myths of Avalon one is 36 cards in here, and the Isis one is 44. So some decks are like 10 cards, some decks are like 150 cards. Like, it really doesn't matter because they're all unique. They should all come with a guidebook as well, which will tell you usually about the author and why they decided to create that deck. But it also has all the write-up for it. So unlike tarot, where I tell people try not to read the guidebook where it explains what it means, with the oracle, some people like to just literally read because sometimes they have affirmations in there, sometimes they have practical things that they encourage you to do. Sometimes they delve deep into the beings or the elements of that card. So it is always good to read the books with the oracle cards. However, today we're going to be talking about intuition with this. So that's what I'm going to encourage, just because, like I said, all the oracle decks are so different. So your oracle decks are going to be completely different to mine unless you have the exact ones that I'm using today. So I can't teach you how to use your oracle deck from the book and the proper meanings of it, because I don't have that deck and they're completely different meanings. Anyway, waffling on. So they act like a mirror. An oracle deck will act like your mirror, and it's reflecting back your soul. So again, you're not going to be calling on other entities and things. It's not like a Ouija board. It is like the images and things on the cards are there to trigger your subconscious. So your subconscious knows the answer, and you possibly know the answers, or you're just needing that reassurance or whatever it is. So the images and the words, sometimes they have words on oracle deck cards as well, are there to just trigger that in your mind, to bring in that realization for you. So if there's a color or a word or an object or something, or a feeling that comes up when you're reading these oracle decks, that's what you go with. Yes, you can look in the book, but what I would encourage is, first off, before you grab the book, go with what your intuition tells you first, and then you can read the book, because again, the book will give you a lot more information about the actual card. Okay, so the importance of intuition, there we go, I led us in really nicely to that. So again, oracle is very much about trusting either your gut or your third eye or your heart or whatever it is that guides you personally. And you're going to know what that is. It's going to be something that you're going to really understand the more you practice with oracle as well. So to quote one of the ladies that was doing a podcast with me the other day, intuition is your spiritual GPS, right? But unlike GPS, we tend to not listen to our spiritual GPS like we would with our car GPS. So our intuition's always there guiding us, even if we realize it or not. That time that you forget something at home and you go back and you go grab it, you come back, and if you'd left on time, you would have got in an accident or something, right? Because you see the accident right there, and you would have been in it if you'd been like 5 minutes beforehand, right? So things like that, or like knowing, that this person's going to be your best friend forever, or the instant that you meet them, or just something like that. Your intuition's always playing a part and always nudging you in the right direction. So always trust. It's either like gut feelings, like literally your gut feelings in your belly kind of thing. It can be a heart thing, or it could just be a third eye knowing kind of thing. I don't know why I have notes, honestly. I don't really look at them properly, or I don't really cover what I write. Yes, so let's do some interactive, because we did an interactive, what was it, last week? And people tended to like that. So I thought that we would do some interactive today. So What I'm going to do first off is I am going to shuffle a deck. Let's do the Avalon one because I love Avalon, and I was literally just talking to a friend of mine about Glastonbury, so Avalon. So I'm going to pull a card, and I want you and obviously you can type it in the comments, or you can just write it down or say it out loud, whatever it is, and just tell me, well, tell yourself what jumps out at you. Okay, so let's do menu. So what jumps out at you with this card? Is there anything that you notice? Is there any symbols or anything that your eye is drawn to? Any colours that your eye is drawn to? Sorry about the glare. Now this one has words around the outside as well, so I will also read you that. Some people are also interested in the numbers too, so this one is number 28 if you're a numerologist or you just like to know the numbers on your Oracle deck. This one is respect, self-esteem, opportunity, and confidence. So just notice what came up for you when those words were even said. Did you get like a fluttering or an excitement or a dread for any of those words? Respect, self-esteem, confidence, and opportunity. Now, you might draw this card and none of those words fit in to your answer. So you might have seen the stars that she's holding, been really, really drawn to that and found that really interesting. You might notice with the tiny little details, which you probably can't see, there's a hagstone, which a hagstone is literally a stone with a natural hole in it. Very, very magical. Like you can see fairy realms through it, like an eyeglass kind of thing. Or the ribbons. There's tiny, tiny, tiny little white flowers. Perhaps you see that, or the flowers in her hair. She's got many colours in her hair. And when you notice these things, how does that go into your answer? Like what's that kind of saying to you? And so you're doing stuff like that, and you're just questioning. You're just curious as to what is this card trying to tell me? If it is something where it's mythology or even like a TV show, there's like TV show ones and stuff like that. If it's like a character that you know, what does that character mean to you? Maybe it's nothing to do with the actual card's meaning. It's to do with how you perceive that character. You understand? So let's try the Isis one now. And you can try this with your own decks, or you can just go online, and there's usually like a free deck and you can just get them to shuffle and then they come out. So we have Spirit of Isis. So you've got a beautiful picture of the goddess Isis. And those of you that aren't aware, she is an Egyptian goddess. So it has the name of the card, so Spirit of Isis on there. And then it says Triumph of the Goddess. So again, what do those words mean to you? What do you feel? What's triggered in you, good or bad, when you hear those words? And then what do you notice with the image? Again, this image will go up on the YouTube edited version if you want to see it properly. It could be her headdress, and you're just really, you see like that Hathor symbol, the circle, and then the bull horns. You see that. Maybe you're drawn to that, and maybe you know about Hathor. So that's another side of Isis, right? Maybe you notice the orange, the big orange swirls, like, and that triggers an excitement or a passion in you. Like, what is it about this card that triggers this? And then you can then go to the books and you can find that card. So let's see if I can really quickly find Spirit of Isis. But you can look in here, and is this in alphabetical? Sometimes they're in alphabetical, sometimes they're not. So yeah, so this will say here what it is. So it says a very quick little blurb about the card, about the goddess, and about why she's in this form. And then this book actually has a ritual that you could do. to connect with the goddess Isis and become calm and get into that divine protection. And then they have an incantation that you can say, so like a prayer to the goddess. And then the Avalon one was 28, I said. 28. So see, in this one it's numbered. So here you have a smaller amount of writing on this one. But this one, it has a message. So divine timing is around you, and everything in the world is commanded by time in one way or another, seeing the window of opportunity and the opportune time to stake your claim. Make a move, create something new, don't hesitate or procrastinate. This is the essence. Use your magic to create a new reality. The time is now. So that is from that other card that we drew. And then it's got like a little description of who she is and why she is in the deck. And then it has a very quick like affirmation. So this one has affirmations. I am confident to be myself. So beautiful, right? So you can do that with your own deck, or you, like I said, you can go online if you don't have your own one, and there's usually Oracle decks that you can have just automatic shuffles on there. And just always just trust what comes through to you. Even if it doesn't make any sense, write it down, because it will probably make sense in the days or weeks to come. Yeah, you really have to trust yourself with this, and you have to really not try and push the answer, because the trouble with the Oracle is it's so much easier to push the answer with an Oracle deck than it is with Tarot, because Tarot is a bit more forceful, as I said, whereas these are a lot more gentle. They're a lot more loving embrace, whereas the Tarot just kicks you out the door and puts you on that path, that bumpy path. I love Tarot. Tarot is actually my favourite over Oracle. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, so some people think, you know, what if I interpret it wrong, especially with the Oracle cards, because they're so free, to interpret. People worry, what if they get it wrong? You can't get it wrong, because like I said, it's a mirror to your soul. So if I was to read, let's say we were both to say a question right now, the same question, and I pull the deck, to me, to my question, me asking that question, it means this, and to you it means something completely different, because the things in the card is triggering the emotional reaction, the memory reaction, the soul reaction, and the guidance is within you already. This is just a visual to help you coax the answer that you already know out of your subconscious. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going really over time, so let's do a really quick so let's talk about building confidence for this. So keep a record, always keep a record with any cards that you're doing, just so that you, even if it's just a few words here and there, just so you can look back and see that you got it right, or you got very, very close to it. And now in hindsight, you're like, oh, I thought it was that because of that thing. Oh, I get it now, right? So you're going to really, that's going to help you, because you did see that in the card, but you didn't write it down, right? So it helps you trust your intuition. Practice regularly, obviously. Practice as much as you can, daily if you can, or just whenever you feel the need to, but try to practice a lot. You're going to have your favorite decks. You're going to have your decks you don't use very often. So whichever ones you're called to, use those ones. Build a relationship with that deck, and you find it's a lot easier. You get better communication. You instantly understand what the cards are trying to tell you, more than a newer deck or one that you don't really talk to very often. You can use them for journaling prompts. So if you do journaling, you can literally just ask a question like, you know, what is my soul path forward right now, and you pick a card and you just look at it, and then you just do your journaling, you just do the writing and have this as your visual. if you were interested in what I picked. I got Rhiannon, who's another beautiful card. This is a goddess, a Celtic goddess. This is card number 30. It is integrity, perseverance, focus, and endurance. So again, do you notice the birds? Do you notice the beautiful white horse? Do you notice her dress, her red dress, or the little clasp that's holding it together? Yeah, what do you notice with this card and what comes up for you? But then you would just write the answer to your question with that as your prompt. And my example earlier, do you know that goddess, right? Like, what does that goddess mean to you? Meditation, same kind of thing. You pick a card, you have it in front of you when you meditate, and you then absorb the energy of that card and that meaning. If you want something in particular, you can just pick the card. You don't have to randomly select one. If there's one that you really want to incorporate into your meditation that day, find it and use that one. Because again, they're very good visuals for your subconscious mind. Now this one's scary. Read for other people. I know. But reading for other people really helps you realize how good you are, how intuitive you are, how you're getting it right. Do it for people that you know and who love you, because they can give you honest feedback, but in that really supportive way. Also, especially if you want to do this as a profession, do it for strangers. That's the best way, because your loved ones might hide some stuff from you, or they might not want to talk to you about something, or they might not want to hurt your feelings. A stranger is actually a really good one because you don't know them. So you can just tell them this stuff and they'll be like, well, there's no way that you would know that. It's really good for building your confidence. It's really good for opening your intuition. Storytelling. So just shuffle the cards, bring out 3, 5, 10, whatever you want, and then tell a story. You can do this with tarot as well. It's actually what I teach in tarot. But you can write a story, a mini story with what you see, each card, however you want to do it, and have that as a building of your confidence and your intuition, because you're noticing the imagery in the cards and the meanings in the cards. Yeah, I'll continue. So start with a simple question. For example, what do I need to know today? Or what's the current energy surrounding me? Then pay attention to your intuition, just the first things that jump into your head, no matter how random, no matter what you zone in on the card that just seems so random. Just go with that. What does that mean? Reflect on the message of the card, especially once you've done the intuitive part. Look in the book, see if any of the messaging in the book actually triggers any reaction for you as well, or can expand upon something that you've already got from your initial look. And practice regularly. Honestly, again, practice regularly. Yeah. So let's just very, very quickly at the end here. So you can get your own tarot deck, or we'll do this together with this one. We're going to use this one because I love this one. We'll do the Mists of Avalon again. So you would close your eyes, you would take a couple of deep breaths, center yourself, and then ask your question. What do I need to concentrate on for the rest of the day? That's just what I'm going to say. You ask whatever you want. And then wherever you feel guided, you can shuffle and take it out, or you can spread them like that and take them, however you want. And then you breathe, and then you look at your card. So you're not going in with any, forcefulness. You're not going in with any judgment. Just curiosity. What is my card? Oh, upside down. See, that's how you know I didn't even look at it. So this is the Chalice Hill card. Sorry, it's been a while since I used this one. So this one is Glastonbury, Chalice Hill, beautiful card. Number 9 for those that want the number. Faith, wellness, balance, and yin and yang. So that whole polarity and wellness and faith and balance. So that's actually really fitting because I have some meetings and then I have this other self-love thing that I'm hosting. So yeah, just being in the energy, I guess. Because yeah, if you look, you've got the chalice, you know, Arthur Legends, and it's just this beautiful light coming out like that onto the moon. You've got some beautiful stars. It's just so serene and magical, and yeah, exactly what I need to know. So then that's what you would do, and then you could pick up the book and see if there's any extra stuff in there. I am very conscious of time, so let's just wrap this up because it's been a long one. I thought it was going to be a really quick one, but you know, never is. So yeah, so use this for your personal growth, your self-awareness and your intuition development. Go in with an open mind, trust your intuition and practice regularly. Next week we are doing chakra series episode 5. That is the heart chakra. So I'm going to be wearing green. Feel free to wear green or pink to next week. It is understanding the heart chakra, the key to self-love and connection. Oh, it's perfect. It should have been the week before, but there you go. Self-love continuing into next week, apparently. If you need to brush up on your other chakras, if you missed the other 4 episodes, you can check out February the 12th, the introduction to the 7 major chakras. March the 12th, understanding the root chakra, your foundation for stability. April the 9th, understanding the sacral chakra, energy, emotions and creativity. And May the 7th, understanding the solar plexus chakra, a place of self-esteem and identity. So go back, watch all those. It's like once a month, that makes it easier, is a chakra episode. So go back and have a little look at that. If you would like to share or you have any questions about today, please do reach out to me privately or put your messages in the comments of any of the replays on social media or on YouTube. I'm very, very happy though to talk to you privately if it's more of a personal thing or you want to go more into depth. If you have any questions about anything else that I do, or if you have any suggestions for other Lives at Fives that you want answered, please do get in touch and let me know. This has been a wonderful time with you guys. Thank you for putting up with me for so long this week. And I will see you next week for the heart chakra. Have a wonderful week.